Welcome in another video by Dutton Ranch. Welcome to Digital Downs, folks. All right, guys, for new players, let's go over some things here. New players or even players managing a small budget. For one, you do not want to overproduce horses. You want to find what works and stick with that and race with that, especially to learn this game the proper way. That's what I did. Now look where I'm at. You know, it took me a season or two, and then it all came together, and I am pretty successful now, and you can be too. The keys for me are, if I go back in time, what I wish I didn't do is overproduce horses when I started. When you get good at the game and you figure out you got a budget and stuff, you can do that. But when you're starting out, you don't want to do that. You just want to pick two horses and find, what works. What I normally did when I started was I'd find a colt or hare or whatever that works, and I'd just stick with that. So let's do that, and we'll talk about it, all right? I'm going to take this horse, and I'm going to breed it with these horses that are high mares. Now, I'm not going to breed it with Rogue Blade because I already know it didn't work, right? Because here's the foals. Rogue Blade did not work. So I'm definitely not breeding this horse with a Rogue Blade. So that will be one that I will not breed this horse with. I haven't bred it with Gracian, Flambino, Queegee Man, two bucks, Global of Flesh. I'm sorry, that's wrong. There we go. No, I need high. All right, there we go. Hindquarters high. All right, so these ones. Marky Mark, I can't do. Bubbly Lady, Ondale, Gracian Hawk, Flambino Storm. So I'm going to take that horse, Gust Gone Wild, and I'm going to breed it with these. Okay? Because see this medium high? That's all I'm looking at. That's all I care about is that medium high right there. I'm looking at this too, but I don't have none average, so I'm not worried about that. So let's begin. So we're going to take Gust Gone Wild and look for Flambino Storm. So let's breed. It's always Gust Gone Wild. So we got a 5 Flambino Storm. There it is. Gust Gone Wild. There he is. Do this, do this. And this will tell you right away what you have. Okay. See, that told me right there what you have. Look at that. You see that? I already know that this is a match made in heaven. Now, what would I do after this? I would take this horse, right? It's a colt, 107.50 raw. I haven't trained it. If I really like the horse, I'll name it. If I don't, I leave it unnamed. So I'll name this Eye of the Storm. Eye of the Storm. And, you don't have to buy a lot of horses to figure this out. Plenty of guys have breeders they'll sell you. I have a ton of breeders that I've tested. So you don't have to spend a ton of money. But look, if I want, $50 for these two breeders, Gust Gone Wild and Flambino Storm, that's not even, this should be way more than that. But my point is, once you find, Gust Gone Wild is going to be my key here. Now, if this switches, right, there's Eye of the Storm. Let me see. Let me breed one more with Gust Gone Wild, right? Let this go through. There's Gust Gone Wild. Let me breed one more with Gust Gone Wild and use a different horse than Flambino Storm. Alright, so we'll breed a horse. Hopefully Gust Gone Wild has a lot of breeds. so we got Flaming Storm. Let's see if we can find Gracian Hawk. Where's Gracian Hawk? Kentucky, okay. Alright, so we got Gus Gone Wild. There's Gracian Hawk right there. How many does Gus Gone Wild have? 14, okay. Alright, so that he's never even been bred before. See, this is what I'm talking about. I mean, I've got horses that never been bred that you could just choose and be successful. Now, we want to see what happens here. Another 107. So, this is what Gus Gone Wild, basically, you could breed with a lot of horses. Now, I found 2 mares to breed 1 colt with. So if I'm a new player, depending on these training times, I'm going to breed this at least 4 more times before the end of the season. So, I mean, I got a 107 raw and a 107.50 raw, right? I'm going to name this one... another colt. I'm going to name this one Wild Gus. No. I'm going to name this one Hawkeye. Alright, there we go. Hawkeye. Hopefully it's not taken. Probably is. It's not. Okay, there we go. So I took Gus Gone Wild, who never bred before, and I just picked 2 mares that it's never bred with. And maybe the mares haven't bred either. I don't even know. I don't remember. No. So both Gracian Hawk, that was the first foal for Gracian Hawk. For Flambino Storm, I guess I've bred this before. Yeah, I bred it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I've bred it 5. I've never bred it with Gus Gone Wild, right? But I just did. So, here we go. Let's go here, go here. All right, so new stables, that's pretty much what you want to do. You want to find 2 breeders. And the breeders I'm using, you know, there's Flambino Storm's pedigree bloodline. You got El Gran Senor, Malibu Moon, Rags to Riches, Tonalist, Known Agenda, Curlin, Gamine. I mean, you got some good stuff there, right? And then Gus Gone Wild, wherever he may be now. I got to do this. And find Gus. Where is he? There he is. Okay, so find Gus Gone Wild. You know, you got Eddie of Conclusion, Nausea, Tail. I mean, look, see all these 10s and 6s and 7s, and that's. I took 2 horses with good pedigree and bloodline, and I bred them. But I know that Gus Gone Wild is the key here. So I could take Gus Gone Wild and create, 13 more horses. And that's what I would do. And based on these training times, I would probably just stick with the 2 mares that I chose. Flambino Storm and Gracian Hawk. So here's the first colt. This is 107.50 raw. Let's train it out. See what we're coming with. We're coming with turf. You always want to have the correct one selected there. I already know this should be a sprinter. 108.91. So vitamins will have a maximum. Now based off that HR will tell me what's going on here. What the heck? Okay, vitamins dropped it down 10. Slight positive. No bute. Okay, that seems to only dropped it 2. I know it's going to drop it more. Let me check blinks. See if that moves it. All right, so you're not going to be using no blinkers, period, point blank. Let me check shadow roll. See if it likes that. All right, so shadow roll it does like. Now I'll do the horseshoe. And it probably just turned into a sprinter, but I didn't really pay attention. All right, so yeah, it turned into a sprinter. Now we're going to get down to 108 fives, right? And you're saying, well, that's not that good. Well, you're right. It's not, but we don't know yet. Hold up. We gotta see this, and this is another thing I would do if you're a new barn. You always want that first 6 furlong time. 68.53 minus 44.99 equals 23.54. So my problem is 23.54 is not good for push at 6 furlongs with a first split of 22.21. There's way better out there, right? So I know that. So now I need to check some other things. I need to check the 7 furlongs. It's not going to be push. And if I can't get to 58, see, I'm right there. See, the HR kind of doesn't match this horse. This horse should have way better numbers than this. Yeah, way better numbers than this. This horse should not be this bad. How do I know that? Because it's a 108.50. So you're telling me on 108.50s running them shitty times right there? I mean, I think they're shitty. Yeah, he's not 4 furlongs. And he's not 5 furlongs. So I know something's wrong here. A 108.50 shouldn't have these kinds of numbers. So I'm going to make sure that these numbers match up. I'm not using Butte. I don't go off that. I don't have to worry about tongue tie. All I need to verify is that this Butte blinkers is no good. And I can tell you, it's already verified, blinkers is no good. So you have a 108.50 horse, right? That's not really running that good. Because this isn't going to get you nowhere, right? It may, but that's all. I know there's better horses with better times. So everything's telling me that this horse needs to be gelded, right? Because it's a 108.50. Okay, it's got good confirms. It's got great pedigree. So I want better times than this, you know. And the reason I'm gelding it is because I know it should have better times than this. So what I do is I take everything off. Okay. Everything but horseshoe. Alright? And I'll train it at turf 6 furlongs. 108.86. 108.89. Alright, so that's it. 108.86 is it. I'm going to geld it because it should have way better times. We're about to find out, aren't we? So I gelded it. Right? Don't be scared to do this, but you have to, like, kind of know, like I just told you. I may be wrong, but I'm going to assume I'm right. Let's find out. Like I said, folks, nothing matches this horse, okay? Now, when you look at this horse, it's a 108.50. You know it's got good confirms. You know it's got good pedigree. There's no reason a 108.50 should be running... What was it? 108.53 fully eclipsed. That's not, and with a 23.54 close. Well, we're raw and we're already at 108.56 with no ads. So we got 3 ads to put on here. Vitamins, drop. Booyah! See what I mean? We're already better. And we got 2 more ads. Lasix, positive effect. Going to drop again. Booyah! All right, and I'm not sure if what Shadow Roll did. I don't remember, but I know it was Shadow Roll. Booyah! There we go. All right, so this makes more sense. See, now we have a horse that makes more sense with a 10850 HR, right? So now this is before the geld, right? And this is after the geld. So we got a 10830. That's a 23 point difference, 0.23 difference. So let's see what we got here. 68.30 minus 44.78 equals 23.52. So we didn't lose no close, right? We didn't lose no close, but we gained everywhere else, right? Look, 2209, 4478. That's faster first split, faster second split, and the close. This makes more sense, right? So now I'm going to delete this. All right. So I know it's push or stalk on 6 furlongs. So I go back to up here. I don't need to do anything else down here. Okay. I know what this is, right? Everything else I do will be based on, will be based on the best workouts and stuff like that. So I got to check 4 furlongs again now. That's it. So I'm telling you it's going to be 5 furlongs. So 5 furlongs, there we go. It's going to be push 5 furlongs. More than likely. 57.42, 57.42 minus 44.54 equals. Yeah, that's 12. That's real good. It doesn't get it. It's push. So it's 100% push on 5 furlongs. 6 furlongs, maybe stalk. So you're going to have to check. It's probably stalk on 6 furlongs, but it could be push. You're going to have to race it to find out because both these times are really good. If the push time and stalk time is real close, it's one or the other. And sometimes it also decides what gate position you get. I can tell you now, if I'm in the 1 or 2 hole, I'm going to stalk. All right, that's 100%. But let's find out how far this horse will go. So that's a crazy 7 furlongs first split. So it definitely stalk at 7 furlongs. Right? So it's stalk at 7 furlongs. This is a really good horse. 1 mile. Okay, we know it's not push. We know it's not stalk. It's steady run or close. All right, there's steady run. And I don't think it's steady run. If you want to check, all you got to do is 95.01 minus 45.58 equals that. That's close. That's real close. That's real close. Real close. But I'm going to go with close because I know that this is pretty good. So it's steady run or close. You're going to have to find out. You got to see how it acts on close. Or steady run. If you were to race this on steady run, well, you already know it should come out of the gate flying, right? It should come out of the gate flying. It should go, it should keep flying. But if at the end it dies off, the stretch run, then you know it's not steady run. Okay, then you know it's closed. All right, that'll 100% tell you it's closed because this horse probably on steady run will come out and probably have the lead or. It should 22.67. This horse will have the lead for sure. The thing is it going to keep the lead on steady run till the end of the race, and that's where I would be worried. The stretch run. When the bump comes, is other horses going to fly by my horse or not? So, that's what I would be worried about. But there's a mile, so I doubt it's going to go 1.125 miles, but you never know. It's definitely going to be stalk or steady run. So it probably could go 1.125 miles, but that's definitely not where I'm going to start. Yeah, I'm not going to start there for sure. 148.83 minus 1.02 equals 30. Yeah, it's okay. So it's steady run. Steady run at 1.125 miles. All right, so you now have this horse. You know it's a really good horse. The best way to do this, and not to get confused, not to make mistakes, is to go here, okay? You know the distances, 5, 6, 7 and a mile. Only do 4 of them. You know it go 1.125 miles, but you want to hit the other ones first, right? Here's what you could do with it. Now, I could race this now, or I can wait. What I want to see is if this horse can race in the mud. So what I need to do is, because I need to determine whether this horse is going into the eliminator. So I need to go to this, go to this. What I'm looking for is 0.20 or under when I change these. Okay, so that's okay. That's not that bad. Now mud's going to tell a real story. So it's really close. So it's really close. What you don't want is over 0.20. So if this horse goes from 108.30, right, to 108.40, right? That's okay. Dirt fast, dirt good. Sloppy, 108.50. You don't want it to be more than this. This is like max. So now I need to make a decision whether I want this horse in the eliminator or I want this horse somewhere else. I could nominate it now and race it in a Futurity Cup Blue Blood Maiden. I already know it's a mile, probably steady run. I mean closed. So that's probably what I'll do. Now, if I'm a new guy, I'm not doing this. If I'm a new guy or I'm on a low budget, I want to make some money from this horse first. So I'd enter it in one of these. Preferably 6 furlong stalk or 7 furlong stalk or steady run. Yeah, I'd probably do 7 furlong stalk and see what happens. I could verify whether I wanted to do that or not. 81.37 minus 45.24 equals... Yeah, so this horse is definitely stalk at 7 furlongs. This horse can rock at 7 furlongs. So if I'm on a low budget or, I don't have a lot of money to spend, I'm going to let this horse make money for me, right? So I would enter a maiden, 6 or 7 furlongs. I wouldn't go past... I'd go 5, 6, or 7. I wouldn't go past that. But because I know what I got here, I'm going to enter this. And I probably should save this horse for the eliminator, is what I should do. Damn it. All right. Because I know it can run the eliminator. All right, so I'm going to move this horse and just save it for the eliminator. That's what I'm going to do. All right, so if you want to buy any horse, please let me know. I'll sell any horse or breeders. Let me know. I mean, you can't expect to, if I sold the foals, if I let you breed these horses at $3 a breed, you got to expect it. The breeders, Gus Gone Wild and Flame Being in a Storm or Gracian Hawk, I can't sell that for... I could get $3 a breed all day, so that's like $6 per breed, all day long. I could get more than that. I mean, being the fact I just produced, 2 107s, And, you guys saw it. So this is also a turf horse. With the turf and the dirt, you never know what you're going to get. It's like a box of chocolate. And no pun intended, but that's the truth. You never know what you're going to get. Could be dirt, could be turf. I haven't figured out a way to notch that in. All right, so we gelded that horse. All right, we always want to start with turf. Let's see what the 107 is dealing. Let's see if this one's a little different. Now, this doesn't look too good right now. It looks like I might need to also geld this one. I won't know for a minute. Alright, I got a triple bump on this horse, which is really nice. So, there's one bump, which didn't barely move it. Now, this should be a sprinter also. There's 2 bumps. And Butte. And this should be 3 bumps. Yep, now that's a big bump. Okay, so now we're going to check. I'm not checking blinkers. I'll check shadow roll first. I'm not checking blinkers because of Butte. So I check shadow roll first. Alright, so we're getting down even more. Right, 10839. It's a sprinter. Add the horseshoes. Alright, so this one may not need to be gelded. Alright, so did I add them? Alright, I was going to say there's no bump. Bull crap. There's always a bump. So we're at 10836. I'm going to test blinkers to see what happens because sometimes it's Butte and blinkers. Okay, so see how this isn't changing? So I'll know whether I need Butte or not after the first race. I'm sorry. I know if I'll need blinkers or not after the first race. So I'm going to leave blinkers off, but I know if I look at the work history, I'll see that I might need to put blinkers on this horse. It depends how it comes out of the gate, whether I add blinkers or not. It should come out of the gate good. Here's the lowest number, like we do. Take this, put it here, do your time, 68.36 minus 44.91 equals 23.45, which is lower than the other horse. That's lower than the other horse. 23.45. Alright. That's lower than the other horse by 10. And that's actually pretty good. That's not bad. I like to be right. I've seen 23.35 and so forth and so on. Alright, so let's continue here. With this horse, we'll check for furlongs. That's too high of a first split. Anything over 21, 90 max is no good. So it's a 5 furlong horse, just like the other one. And 5 furlongs is not going to be stalk. It's going to be push because this is already high. 22.18 is pretty high, right? So it's definitely push there, which means it could be stalk at... No. So it's push at 5 and 6 furlongs. Alright? So it's push on both, no matter what. I can tell you that right now. If it can't win on 6 furlongs push, right? Then it's gonna win on 5 furlongs. It's gonna be one of the two. 7 furlongs, let's see what we come up with. We know it's not push. It's probably stalk. Stalk's looking a little bit better. Right? It's definitely not steady run. We can test it. 81.42 minus 45.12. Okay, what I'm looking at, folks, is this closing time when I do this. Right? And that's what I'm looking for. 36.30. Right? So this horse can actually run push with this close at 7 furlongs. And once I race it at 7 furlongs on push and I see how it acts, I'll know whether to go to stalk or not. Because it can also race here on stalk. So this horse is a really good horse too. Right? So this horse will probably be like the other one. Except I don't have to geld it. You know it's not going to be push. I go through these no matter what. Just to look at these splits. It's probably steady run. Could be close. See that? That's way too high. I don't like that. So steady run's about as far as I'm going with this horse. So that's where it should end right there. And it doesn't because this horse is really, really, this might be 140.9B minus. Now this will tell you a lot here because this is close. This is probably stalk, which means it's steady run at a mile. Is that what I came up with? I don't remember. Yeah. So the 1.125 told me what I needed to know. I don't think I'm going over 1.125 with this horse. No. See that? You want that at 20. Push, you want 203.20. So I know where this horse goes. The only thing I didn't check is the dirt situation. Let's check it real quick. You check it at 6 furlongs. Okay. We don't want this changing more than 0.20 total. Right? So we need this to be 108.50. Okay, guys, look. Oh, actually, 36, 46, 56. So this is fine also. It's under 0.20. Even if it was at 0.20, you know, that would be okay. But anything over 0.20, I'm not running. So this I could run in the eliminator also. Turned into a 107.50. You know, I don't need to geld it because these work times are sufficient. That's fine. You know, that's good. Could I geld it? Yeah. But you don't. If this matches, if this looks pretty good, you know, according to the horse's HR and everything like that, horse rating, and you know, pedigree and confirms and all that stuff, then I don't need to geld this horse. I've definitely got to race it before I even think about gelding it. And I got to race it like 3-4 times before I even think about gelding it and see what it does. If I'm on a low budget, what I would do is I know this horse can race on all surfaces, and I'm not prepared to go over a mile again, even though it goes 1.125, because I want to race 5, 6, 7 and figure out where I'm at. So here we are with the mile. Here's the 6. Here's the 7. A mile's the max. I'll take it. I will enter this. I mean, I just hate entered horses at the end of the season. I really do. If you want to buy this horse, let me know. Oh, I hate entering horses at the end of the season. I could save this for the eliminator. The problem is I'm going to have a ton more. So let's enter this. Let's enter this. Let's enter both of them. So we're going steady run. I've already got my jockey presets. Boom. All right. We go to the main state. I'm going back to my, I'm going to enter my other horse in the same race. I'm going to put them against each other. So Eye of the Storm. I'm going to put this horse against this horse. Nominate. This is the horse I said could run steady run, but we're going to put this horse on close at a mile. Same thing. All right, Digital Downs. There we go. All right, so I got to move this horse back to here. That's where I'm moving it to because it's my first tab. All right, so, all right, I put these two in there. You watch me do it. Now, remember, if I didn't have money, I would have put these in $5 races and let them earn me some money. You know what I mean? When it comes to like steady run and close, you know, you got to figure out what your horse is. You'll know by the race. You know what I mean? I got this horse on, I believe, steady run, right? Yeah, I got this horse on steady run, even though it says close is the best, right? That's 12, 11, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I could train it up to 12 o'clock tonight. And I'm going to try to get this horse where I wanted it steady run. So let me just do a few times here. 10503, 10503. So it's trying to push me on close. But if you look here, it doesn't make no sense. Because a mile and an eighth is stalk, right? So you know if it's stalk on a mile and an eighth, it's up 1 in a mile. So close don't make no sense. It's steady run, believe me. And that's how you look at that. A mile and an eighth will tell you what your mile is. All right? This is 100% stalk on a mile and an eighth, right? 100%. So I know it's steady run on a mile. And it's push on 7 furlongs or stalk. But I know this is steady run, not close. I'm not going to play with it to get the time to 135, but I probably could if I kept training it. I'm not going to worry about it, but like I said, this video is to show you guys with low budgets and stuff how to manage your horses. So what we learned is you just take one horse, guys, that works. You know, you take one colt. I mean, Gus Gone Wild. You know, look, it hasn't produced nothing special. You know, this is one horse, right? I mean, that's not that good. $2 and 7 races. So this is the only horse it's created that was, you know, somewhat good, and that was with a whole different breeder. So I take Gus Gone Wild, and I know that I could breed him with a bunch of horses, and I'll get good results. So that's what I want to tell you, and you know, scale these horses up. You know, let this horse win if you don't have the budget or the money, let this horse win you the money. Let this horse pay for your stable. Let this horse pay for your other horses. All right. So I spent what, $20, right? And I entered 2 races, so that's $30, I believe. If I were to enter, okay, it's $60 for real, but if it was $5 a race, it'd be $30, right? Or $32. So $32 to breed them and to race them. And when you win, right, the money you win off of this horse, you have to look at it 2 ways, right? You have to look at it 2 ways. So off of this foal, the money you win, right? First of all, this will tell you where you need to be. This race will tell you where you need to be at a mile, right? Where you need to be at a mile. It may be close, but you'll know. And I'm going to tell you from experience, I think that's way too high to be closed. So I'm going to stick with my assumption that steady runs where this horse needs to go. Now, I'm not bumping this up. I'm only going down. because I'm very curious to see how it does at 5, how it does at 6, how it does at 7, before I go bumping, keeping it a mile or going to a mile and an eighth, right? That's what I want to do. So that's what you do. You win this race or come in second. If it pays for another race, if I win $6, right? So if my entry was 5 and I win 6, that's 11 total. Even if I win $6, I'll re-enter this horse again in another race because this horse has already earned the right to do that. It's made the money for you to continue to race it. And if you make if it loses, you made a mistake. You got to watch and see what you did wrong. There's something that you did or you missed. This horse was 100%. This was a horse, I believe, that is not blinkers. This horse didn't respond to blinkers. So I believe this is the one that didn't respond to blinkers. Let's make sure. Okay, yeah, this horse is the one. So this horse may need blinkers. That's another thing. Depending on how this race goes, you kind of won't know because you need to see a 5 or 6 furlong race. Because based off of the works, at 6 furlongs, this horse should be near the front. Maybe not in the front, but he should be near it. If he doesn't, if he's way back, you're gonna want to put blinkers on. So that's how there's things you got to test. That's what you got to do. Don't give up so easily. And don't create more horses than you need to. If you can't afford the race, a best thing to do is just have an average 5 hours, right? Every race, 5 hour average, right? So if you want to create 10 horses, you need to have $50 to start racing them, right? Okay? So that's what you're going to want to do. The biggest mistake I made is creating too many horses, and then you don't have the money to run them, and you don't know who's going to be better than the other, or you don't know. So creating all these horses is just it's just not right. If you want me to find you 2 breeders that are proven winners, and you're willing to spend a couple dollars, you can best thing for you to do is to get 2 breeders and stay with them, proven breeders. I've proved that Gus Gone Wild could breed with Gracian Hawk and the other foal, right? I've already proved it. And I know these horses are going to be able to race. So Flambino Storm and Gracian Hawk, I'm 100% that Gus Gone Wild can breed with, and you better believe, come the end of the season, I'm going to come right back to these. I'm going to breed 3 more with this one, 3 more with this one, and also I might change it up. Depends on this. I might put one of these horses in Florida or PA and try a breed. Okay? Because sometimes, that it works. So I'll probably put, I'll try him in Florida and I'll try him in PA one time. Now, I will look at the foals. All right, so Flambino Storm, New York, Florida, I might try that. I might switch this mare and I might put both of them in Florida. and try it out. Because, well, Florida's not right for this, but New York is. I might try one with New York, right? For Flambino Storm. And then for Gracian Hawk, I might also try New York. Now, my problem is, you guys are learning a lot in this video. My problem is Gus Gone Wild has no New York. So, I can't do New York. And I know you think I'm crazy. I probably can only do one. I probably can't change the mares. I could probably change him. I might try one foal just to see. But I'm definitely not going to do that until I've bred. I'm going to breed 3 more just the way this is. This is already in Florida. I'm going to breed 3 more just the way this is. And then I'll change this to Kentucky and see what happens, right? And then I'll go from there. So that's what that's what I plan to do. The 31st of this New Year's Eve. All right, well that's a long video and I'm sorry for that, but you guys learned a lot. So what we learned is if you're a small stable or just starting out, the most important thing to spend your money on is breeders. Get 2 breeders, find the breeders that work. Once you do, figure out how many horses that you can produce. You know, like I said, use $5 for instance. It's going to be $5 a race for each horse. So if you have 10 foals, right, that's $50. You're going to need $50 in your account to race them 10 foals. If you can't afford that a week, don't make more horses. Don't breed more, don't buy more, don't do nothing. You need to scale up, okay? You know, manage the 10 horses. Learn how to race them 10, right? Scale them up, okay? You know, do that. If you want 2 breeders, I can sell you these breeders, or I can find you breeders that I'm willing to let go of. I have some I haven't bred yet. I mean, there a couple of these I didn't breed. I bred Gus Gone Wild, but I never bred these 2. These 2 don't even have no foals. That's the first foals they have. So I have horses and stuff. So if you need something, contact me and I'll see what I can find. You know, for you smaller guys. You know, I'm not going to like, look, I've got enough horses, guys, that I don't need to rob you or pick your pockets. Now, I'm not going to give you Gus Gone Wild and then 2 mares for, you know, some low price, because I can tell you now the foals of them 3 horses could make anywhere between a 100 easily to 2,000. You don't know. So I'm not going to, you know, just give away a horse like that. And that's what most of these guys are like. But for a horses that I haven't bred yet, you know, I'm willing to do something a little where, you know, it'll work out for you. There's a lot of horses here that I've tested. See how they have 1 breed? That's because I tested them. Some of them have no breeds. You know, just let me know if you want 2 horses, and I'll find you 2 that will, you know, I can test them for you. You know, if you want me to test them, I'll test them for you. You know, you pay me $10 and I'll test them for you. You know, to make sure they produce winning foals. Or you could just buy them and I'll look at them and tell you what I think will produce nice foals. Because I can look, I know all my bloodlines and pedigrees. Like, I can tell you Night Shift and Little Sister are both good. I'm 100% sure of that. So, you know, this horse here, you're talking about Man of War, Rhythm, Vindictive, um, 10 Trillion, Gold Kiva, Basso, Trillion Rhythm. I mean, you know, I know that bloodline pedigree is good. Um, so I could just Shapeshifter. I mean, is gonna, you know, could be a really good breeder. And then I know these too. I mean, I know all these. Blue Origin is a stakes winner. I mean, he could be good. You know, credit card fraud. No, that one I don't know too well. Fast Nasty. I know Fast Nasty. Lady America. I mean, Little O Sister. I mean, I could find you some horses. Wonder why I couldn't find Moonshine Queegee Man. I could not find this horse. You guys don't have to stay here. I'm just wondering why I couldn't find Moonshine Queegee Man. That's the end of the video, guys. I'm just wondering why I couldn't find this horse. Why can't I find this horse? It's not bred out. Why the hell can I find this horse? I can't find this horse. I don't understand it. So what? I mean, I thought I bought that horse in the auction. What is going on here? There it is, right there. Kentucky Moonshine Queegee Man. So that's another one I could breed Gus Goldmob with. I only got 13 left. I need 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, so I could test this too. Let's see. So let's see what Moonshine Queegee Man brings us. A 103. Another colt. Alright, so let's see what happens here. So Moonshine Queegee Man, right? I need to look at this horse real quick. Kentucky, California. So I need to switch this. It's in California. So I need to see. I need to switch this. Where's this fold? Unnamed. Kentucky. And it says Moonshine Queegee Man was California. Alright, so something's wrong here. But I want this horse in California or Kentucky. Alright, so I moved that to Kentucky and I'll see what happens. Sometimes you gotta switch that up. Alright, so let's check this horse. It's a long video, but that's okay. Alright, let's Let's see what we got here. Oh, this is dirt. This one's dirt. All right. That's a little bit lower than the ones before. This should be a sprinter once again. So this is a low bump horse. I only get one bump here. So that's not that good of a sign. Unless Blinkers gives me a bump. Oh, okay. We're alright. Shadow Roll, give me another bump. Alright, Shadow Roll didn't give me a bump, but I always leave Shadow Roll on. Especially with Blinkers. Alright, now this will give me another bump. And I can tell you right now, this is definitely a fast horse. This horse is really fast. And I doubt this might be a 4 furlong horse. No, it's not. It's a 5 furlong horse. No, once again, see these times. But this is not. This is one that. Let's see, I don't think 68.59 minus 44.83 equals. Yes, see, that's like right on the border. So this is stalk, but that's really slow for stalk. I'm not liking what I'm seeing here. Now, the thing with this horse is I'm not too confident in this horse. It's a 104. Good confirms. Nice there. I'm just not sold on. It has right now. It has nowhere. It's not running nowhere. I mean, this doesn't look right. So I'm either going to geld this and it'll work, or I'm going to kill it. So at least I know not to breed with this foal, Moonshine Queegee Man. I won't breed. I'll find out whether to breed Gus Gone Wild and Moonshine Queegee Man. So I don't like what I'm seeing here. I do not geld every horse. Okay, I'm going to tell everybody that right now. I hate gelding horses actually, but when I don't see what I want, it's different. If I don't see what I like, then I'll geld it. Otherwise, I won't geld it. If it's got what I like, I won't geld it. So we're hoping for under 108.84 because there's a possibility I might destroy this horse. Yeah, well, I didn't destroy it. So we are already lower. Now we got to add the ads back in. And we'll see. That's where we were. We were right there before. We're going to be lower than that because Blinkers and Shadow Roll. Let's see how low we get. Yep, so we're already way better than we were before. Now this horse makes sense. And now this horse may be... Let's see what happened to 4 furlongs. No, it's not right yet. I know 5 furlongs is good. There we go. That's way better than it was before. So we got a nice little horse here that's probably 5 furlongs push and might be 68.34 minus 34.73. So this horse is going to be push or stalk at 6 furlongs. It's a nice little horse. Okay, so what I do with this horse is I'm going to see how this horse runs. Right? So this will be one of them D division horses for me. Alright, I know it's not that. So it's definitely stalk or steady run here at 7 furlongs. Yeah, so it's stalk at 7 furlongs. This is probably another horse that can go in the eliminator. This horse definitely ain't going. And this is not looking good right now. This might be a 5, 6, 7 horse. Yeah, because it's pushing me to relax, close and relax on a mile. Yeah, so I'm gonna leave off a mile on this horse. I'm gonna go 5, 6, 7 on this horse. Nominate dirt. Before I try anything with a mile, I'm doing 5, 6, 7, and if I was working with a low budget, I'd just do this, right? It's stalk at 7 furlongs. I already checked it, so that's where I'm going. You know, here's a maiden. I'm not confident enough to. Oh shit! I'm not confident enough to put this horse in the eliminator. So I'm just gonna race it now and see what happens. Name it. Let's see. Gustavo. I doubt somebody's got that name. It's a pretty horse. Now I'll put it in 7 furlongs. Maiden, stalk. New York. Done. No, it didn't. It didn't do the thing. It didn't load my. It didn't load my jockeys. There we go. All right, so that's it. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great day.